Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forever Rugby on Forever Sports for today's player rating show. What a game! What a game, really. I think we can sort of breathe a big sign of relief. And as far as South Africans are concerned, you can crack open another one of these and celebrate what was a tremendous performance. It really has to be said that the Springboks were up against, I mean, people saying 3-0, people were saying that they had no chance, they were never going to be able to bounce back. And they did with some, I mean, I thought, just that second half performance, you kind of felt in the first half a little bit that, sure, but are we going to be able to keep this momentum? We were worried that we were going to fade. Well, we didn't fade. We only got better as it went by. And a terrific performance. A really good game. I thought a very good reffing performance. Very happy with that. I think that we can't really have too many complaints about that game as a whole, actually. So, But so please go and vote for your player ratings. The link is in the description there. So we'll give you guys a little bit of time to go and vote. I've seen we've got well over 40, 50 people have voted. So keep going and voting and stuff like that. Basically, the whole idea is that we go and rate every single player between 1 and 10. And then we give a man of the match. So what I want to know in the comments right now, and I'll go and read some of your comments, stuff like that. I want nominations for man of the match. We want 3, maybe 4 nominations for man of the match. Get them in the comments, and I'll do a quick count. And whoever gets the most sort of nominations, I'll then create a poll, and we'll go and vote on the poll. And then we'll end the entire show by ending what was on the poll, and we can decide on who was our man of the match. So that's the whole thing. This is your show. You get to make all the votings. You get to vote on the man of the match. I'm just the mediator. And before we sort of do that, as you guys start getting your comments and stuff like that in, I just want to say thank you at the end of the day, because we had a really horrible start to the game, start to the stream, where as the game went live, as the game began, my internet dropped and went completely dead. And we got back up through using a phone as a hotspot and stuff like that, and it really wasn't working well. And eventually the internet came back, and we managed to get going. But you guys came straight back on the channel when it was going. People that waited on whilst the stream wasn't working. So you guys are absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. We're sitting at over 3,500 subscribers. For a channel that uploaded their first rugby video less than a year ago, that is incredible for me. So just a big thank you. Let's keep building momentum. This is not just me telling you guys how I feel. This is an interactive show. It sounds corny, but we literally are for the fans, by the fans. So, this doesn't work without you guys, and you guys have been so good, and we're making some big waves across the YouTube space. So let's keep the momentum. Let's keep it going into that third test. We will have the press conferences up from both parties up tonight. So we'll have Warren Gatlin's up pretty soon, and then we'll have Jacques Nienaber's up as well before I go to bed. So don't stress. I will not be sleeping until you guys get to watch what Warren Gatlin has to say to the media, as well as what Jacques Nienaber has got to say. Vic, the link is in the pinned comment there. Oh, wait, it's not. I lie. Let me go and drop it once again. Yeah, it is. There's the link to go and vote. I'll pin it now as well. So in terms of people who I'm seeing for man of the match nomination, I just want to go through some of the comments. So Albert Mayer, I think, hits it on the head where he says the most dangerous animal in the world, a springbok with its back against the wall. And it was. It's once again people. I mean, there were people saying that after the ref video that they should boycott South Africa. We should never go back and play against South Africa and whatever. And then some people saying, you can't win without the ref, and that's why you lost and stuff like that. But the performance today, you cannot argue. It doesn't matter what sort of referee you had today. It was too good from the Springboks. It really was a brilliant performance. So, and I thought it was actually quite fair both times. I think that obviously I'm a little bit biased because we won, but I don't really have too many gripes about the referee. So if you're a UK fan and you maybe do, then check in the comments, let me know. A lot of people talking about the red card on Colby. I think it would have been harsh, and I think it would have ruined a good game. And I think that's a bit of a strange. I've always had a bit of an issue with that rule. But Grant Swart says the Lions were not ready for the block brutality tonight. Mostert really put up his hand. I can see him starting next week. Oh, he'll definitely start. But what will be interesting is whether he starts at lock or if he does start on the flank. Will Dwayne Vermeulen play next week? No. So, I mean, Jake White was talking about Dwayne Vermeulen last night, and he was basically saying that he reckons Dwayne Vermeulen is probably 3 to 4 weeks really away from playing. Apparently he's working really hard, so he can try and make himself available, but it doesn't look particularly likely. And if he does, it will be because they rush him, which you don't really want to see. So we'll wait and see. Never say never, but at this stage, he won't. In theory, he shouldn't play. And I don't think we should rush him. And I think that, I'm not to say that we don't need him, because we definitely need him. But I think today other people stepped up, and I think that we coped pretty well with him. I thought that Jasper Wiese was pretty good. I thought that even without Piestev the toy and Red Familiar, we still managed to get a good victory on the board. Then what else are we saying? So Brandon Bowen says, what a last 30 minutes from us, 100%. Guess the Lions can only win with the ref. Tazio Trotter says, what a game. Francois says the box stepped up intensity in the second half. He reckons Mapimpi man of the match. I'm glad the player stepped in to help Colby this week. That was a whole different thing. With the kick chases, we were protecting our men under the ball. We were throwing more bodies ahead. There was definitely tactical changes and tactical nuances we saw from the Springboks. I don't want to talk too much about it, because I think, you only start seeing those stuff really when you watch it maybe again or so a second time. But there definitely were a couple of adjustments that we made. So the link of voting is there. Go and vote. Go and jump on the site. Go and have your say. The more people that vote, the more accurate the voting really is. Jean says, Luot Diago coming on and making a difference. Deaf man of the match. Interesting call there. Vickers says the red card would have been harsh. I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Yes, I am. It's emotional. No, we're fine. We're good. Renwell Play says, hi. Good evening, Renwell. Vickers says, I think Luot Diago coming on made a big difference. Colby got sanctioned. Nothing more was needed. I think he had a card was about right. As Renal Play says, what was that first half? Fantastic second half. The first half we were under the cosh a little bit, and that's why when we went down 9-6, I thought I'll take that. I think it could have probably been worse, so I'll take it. How was the second half? So much for losing steam, and that was the thing. We sort of really kicked on. Proper score. We need Mornay's kicking boost next week to steal the series. I don't think they'll change Pollard, but it is a bit of a worry that he hasn't kicking particularly well. Quacker Smith will come most likely replace Piestev the toy at 7. Piestev the toy barely had any game time and suffered a shoulder injury. I don't think we won't see Pete next week. I'm hoping we'll see him soon. Interesting to sort of see where they go with that. Pollard is seriously rusty. Van Staden, what an impact player. He was. He only had 8 minutes. He got a turnover. He had a very nice moment with the Kanya where he held him up. The referee was man of the match. The Springboks. Colby should have been sent off. Knocked on. Did knock it on. He definitely had control of the ball, and I don't think Colby should have been sent off. But sure. So we can rule out that try. So that's what, 7 points, eh? So 29, 27. Doing the maths, that's 20 points to 9, eh? I don't think it's a red card. I'm sure the UK people will be asking for it. I think even if it was a Lions player, you don't want to see red cards, and I think that for me, a red card, there has to be a certain amount of intention and malice. You're looking at red card offenses as people who are no arms tackle into the head. Now, is that the same thing as going for the ball but not jumping? I don't think so. Trevor for man of the match. I think Trevor was very good off the bench. The Box had a good one when everyone has a different player who they think man of the match should be. Well, that's the problem. I'm about to say. I'm asking for people to give me man of the match nominations, and you guys are giving me the entire team here. I've seen two Mapimpis, so I'm gonna start creating the poll. So, who was your man of the match? So I'm seeing a couple of calls from Mapimpi. We've got Mapimpi there. I've got one call for Lurt. I had a call for Trevor. I had a call for who else did I have a call from? Who else are we saying? Sia was good too. I'm gonna put mine in. I think Sia Khaleesi definitely should be in the conversation. I thought he was very, very good. Try saving tackle and involvement in that Robbie Henshaw effort. I thought he tackled very well. I thought he was very good. Was Sia. We'll go through the stats and stuff like that. So we've got two people. We've got Mapimpi and we've got Khaleesi. So who else can we add to the man of the match poll here, people? What else are we thinking? Where else are we going? Trying to think of who else I would put in there. I thought Lakanya was very good again. I thought Damien Dalendi was pretty good again. Lots of people saying Lurt Diago for his impact. So we can go with Lurt. He was very good at the lineouts. And that's when we started doing quite well. The Kanya maybe. So are we seeing anybody else? I'm seeing a call for Lakanya. Do we agree? Are we adding Lakanya to it? I saw a call for Colby. I think his yellow card. You might sort of take him out of that. Call for Ibn Etzebeth. Okay, let me come. You're last. You've got one more option here, people. Who are we adding? We've got Mapimpi, we've got Khaleesi, and we've got Lua Diago. So who else are we adding to the man of the match nominations? Get them in quickly before we start doing the player ratings. Can we expect to get a video this week? Yeah, so I think we can go with Lakanya. Was the try scorer, the big try scorer. Trevor, I think, is a decent shot as well. Just because he came through and looked so good. But that's it. Okay, cool. There we've got our man of the match nominations. So we're gonna get that in the comments. So the poll is live. Keep going and voting. We've got well over 50 people have voted on the player rating. So we're gonna get into that now as well. So it's the pin comment there. Rating 2. That's Stephen Sneed. I was horrendous. It was terrible. I do apologize. I'll do better next time. Poor effort from me. I must admit. Tell you what, I'll take a sip of beer for that. Right. Who was the actual man of the match? I actually have no idea. I turned the TV off because I'm trying to get all this ready. So I actually don't know who the official man of the match was. But yeah, I'm interested to see who they would have given it to him. But yeah, so keep voting. We'll go through the Mapimpi was the actual man of the match. Well, there we go. So Mapimpi was the man of the match by the panel, Supersport panel. So who will be our man of the match? That is the question. That is the question of the day. So please do keep voting. We've got lots of people on the player voting, so I'm going to delay it for a few minutes. Let people have their say. Go through a couple of the comments. In 2 tests, the Lions only scored from a more. That's a good defensive testament from the box. I'm actually going to display that. I think that's a very good point. They talk about the box being so good defensively, and that's what makes them so good. I think that defense was very impressive. Long may that continue. Let's see what other comments are. So, Ansper Perez said, I think Mapimpi is underrated. He scored a lot of tries. He's also in the right place for those. That's like a shock-free skill. Yeah. Look, I think my most impressive part about Mapimpi today was his defense. Didn't miss a single tackle. He was holding people up in the defense. He was reading the ball really well. And I'll be the first to admit that I think going back a few years, I didn't say I didn't rate Mapimpi, but I was skeptical. Not over his try-scoring ability, but, it's always so you can rate the players. It's the pin comment there. That's where the player rating is. I'll drop it down now as well again. So you can go and rate it there. I just felt that, the problem with wings in South Africa is we know they can finish, but can they tackle? Can they go under the high ball? What's their work rate like? And Mapimpi has just gone from strength to strength to strength. When he burst on the scene, he was raw pace and had lots of power, but he's since then become a very, very good defender. He's very, very good positionally. He's become the complete wing. And I think that it's the reason why I think he's underrated is obviously you got Cheslin Colby, who's he's got that star quality, so flashy. And then he talks about Cheslin Colby. But I think Makazole Mapimpi is also in a class of his own. He is so good at what he does. But yeah, so we're going to pretty much go towards the player ratings now, but I'm seeing a lot more people voting, so I just want to make sure you guys get enough chance to do your ratings. Would be such a laugh to see Gatler come out with a video this week. It'll be interesting, but I don't think you will. I like when Mapimpi switched wings. He should stay at 14. I mean, the funny thing is we can't even get Spirin Corsi into the side, and Spirin Corsi is a test player. And what happens, for example, Pierre Dianti then gets his ban reduced and he's available. I mean, we're talking about a World Breakthrough Player of the Year. Imagine that kind of depth you could have at wing if you've got Colby, Nkosi, Mapimpi, and Dianti back in the mix. Even now, you've got players like Apelele Fassi who can't get into the side. You've got something like Tyron Green overseas who's going to start pushing to try and play for box. Katena said, Itoja turned from hero to -0, a bonkers and horrible performance. I thought he had a decent first half. Was sort of leading the challenge again, and then second half it kind of sort of fell apart. But yeah, so I think probably had a super solid outing, a proper test fly performance. I think he grew into the game, which which I think is fairly fair. I think his goal kicking initially we were a little bit worried about because he wasn't nailing everyone. And, if he did leave another 5 points out there, which doesn't matter. But if it's a game of 12-9 or 12-15 or whatever, and you lose and you think, oh, you missed those kicks. But he grew into the game. Very nice cross kick from him. He looked very good under the high ball. So he grew into the game, which was nice. So Contender reckons that next week, Mapimpi and Corsi, LaRue or Fassi. You reckon he's going to drop Colby, which I think be a big call to drop Colby. They won't drop LaRue. And then, as Jean says, you've got something like Yao Penkle and Abel van der Merwe coming through as well. So what happened in the second half or set them apart? I think the bench worked, to be honest. I mean, let's be honest. Those first 10, 15 minutes, we weren't all over them. It was pretty solid. But the bomb squad had the bomb squad effect. They came on. We started winning the scrums. We had a massive maul, which set that try. We had some really good phase play. We looked at getting over the advantage line. We were hitting the rucks quite nicely. We were contending at the breakdowns. I think it was the bench that had a big impact. I think that the starting 15 did its job and kept us in the game. And then we had some very good performances off the bench. And we'll talk about Trevor. We'll talk about Alert. I thought Clark Smith had quite a good game as well. Pollard played well. His goal kicking had me slightly nervous. Yeah, exactly, 100%. And that's the problem. Is that's your sort of main job. So even when you're playing well, if you're not kicking well, you're gonna sit there going, "Oh, but you're leaving points out there. Is that going to come back to bite us?" It didn't come back to bite us, and he got better and better as things went on. So, yeah, good on them. Right. So in terms of other comments. What did you think of Willemse at wing? He didn't do much, but he's very good in the wing. He's very good anyways, Damien Willemse. He's very good defensively sound. He's got the pace. He's a nice utility player. And we still have the likes of Tamwe, Owens, Jacobs. Yeah, there's so many wings in this country. Renal places, Itoja's attitude is really irksome. Answer presses, I'm glad our scrums are back. I hope the confidence we get here can bring back the more big time next week. 19 common managed to get nicely. Sia was brilliant. Agreed. If Faf is injured, who starts, Herschel or Kubus? I think you can see Herschel in the running scrummy. The guy hardly box kick. Yeah, I reckon they'd probably go Kubus Reynoff to start. I think Herschel Young's a very nice player to come off the bench. But yeah, as you say, I think that Kubus Reynoff's tactical kicking probably gives him the edge. But I like Herschel Young off the bench. We have the men to continue with the performances. The ultimate sharpshooter says, how was Trevor that good? We have been sleeping on for loose head. Hey, look, Trevor, there's a reason that he was so... there's a reason that they tried to sort of make him switch because they saw the potential. But yeah, he was really, really good at loosehead today. Dude, we can't hear you. Well, can anybody else hear me? Is anybody else struggling? Let me know. I can try and fix it if that is the case. But it seems to be fine. People seem to be hearing me, unless I've been talking to myself for the past however many minutes. The Box took the game to them today. Am I wrong to say Warren copies us, which is why we find the games boring at times? I think that the British and Irish Lions kind of went back to the kicking game, and this time I think there was bouncing more on our side, and we sort of competed a little bit better at it. So it was interesting, the fact that they also didn't seem to have much of a plan B and be able to change much, which is kind of what we got accused of not being able to do last week. Look, swings and roundabouts. Warren's a very good coach, so expect changes. Now that we have lost, expect changes. Maybe we'll see Josh Adams next week. Maybe we'll see, Liam Williams. Maybe we'll see Sam Simmons or Hamish Watson and stuff like that. Everybody seems to say that they can hear you, so that's all good. Kenna Kuhn says, well done, SA Lions. Absolutely garbage all game. Exposes the fraud that Catlin is. For the World Cup, Trevor was absolutely on for the management. Just that injury, 100%. Mario Tojo was found out this week. Yeah, as I said, from hero to zero for many people. Right, so I think we've given enough people time to rate. So let's go and do this so I can go and eat dinner and savor the victory. So let's get to the ratings, shall we? And we're going to start with the forwards. And we'll start with, in fact, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be that guy. I want to start with the Lions players because I want as many people to vote for the Springboks players as possible. So I'm going to start with Mako Venipola. I don't think he had a great game. I don't think it was bad. We'll bring up some stats and stuff like that and talk about them. So he made 8 carries, 7 tackles, 2 defenders beaten for Mako Venipola, 7 tackles, none missed. I thought he was actually having said that, I thought maybe he wasn't bad, was Venipola. The scrums weren't hugely one-sided before the sort of the second bent on. So I didn't think he was terrible. I'll probably go with average. And average on this channel is 6, by the way. We go with 6 is average, 5 is below average, 7 is good, 8 is really good, 9 is fantastic, and then 10 is sublime. So I went with 6, and guys are going with 5.5. So we're there. I thought Vunipola was probably one of the better players for the Lions. A couple of people got a bit low. Luke Cohen Dickey. I've also got the stats over here as well. So Luke Cohen Dickey, and actually refresh this page. Made 9 carries, 9 tackles. He missed 1 tackle. The lineouts weren't too bad. They only lost 1 when he was on the pitch, so it wasn't too bad there. I thought he wasn't bad actually. Was Luke Cohen Dickey? I mean, he made 8 carries according to Rugby Pass. Apparently didn't concede a single penalty. I can probably go with probably a 6 as well for an average performance. I don't think it was sensational. Yeah, I'm going to go with a 6, and we'll see what you guys reckon. I thought Furlong was worse than those two. Yeah, so you guys agree with a 6, so we're unsung there. Yeah, I thought Furlong struggled a little bit. I thought that Stephen Kitsoff was having quite a good time against him. He made 3 carries, 6 tackles, didn't miss a tackle, but didn't really sort of make too many meters when he carried. I thought he struggled. For somebody who I think is a really world-class player, I wasn't blown away by Furlong. He conceded a penalty as well. So I'm leaning towards a 5 and a 4. I actually thought he was pretty poor. So I'm going to go with a 4. It might be a bit harsh. So we'll see what you guys say as well. 5.8. So I've gone quite low. I just didn't think he was that good. Interesting that I've gone much lower. I was sort of sitting between a 4 and a 5. So going 5.8 is quite interesting, which is higher than Vunipola. Mario Itoje. Now, he's going to be quite an interesting one. You know, I think that he had a very good first half to Mario Itoje, and then sort of just fell apart in the second half. He made 4 carries, 4 tackles, 1 defeated beats and 1 offload. He didn't miss a tackle. He conceded a penalty, quite a poor penalty conceded as well. So I didn't think it was the best game from Itoje. But I thought that it was kind of a game of 2 halves. So I probably would have given him a 7 in the first half, maybe a 5 in the second half, which means for me a 6 is about fair. So somewhere down the middle. I think it's average 7.2. Yeah, he was good. He kind of thought he fell apart a little bit, lost his head slightly. So a 7. I mean, it's not too far away from where we are. Alan Jones. Well, I mean, he carried the ball up a lot from what I remember. Yeah, 8 carries, 14 tackles, not a single missed tackle. You probably got to give him a 7, don't you? Just monumental, isn't he? 7, yeah, I think it was very good. I mean, does he look like a player who wasn't part of the tour, came in late and stuff like that? I mean, what an athlete. What an absolute athlete is Alan Jones. Somebody I'd love to have a rugby conversation with. You know, he's such a humble guy, very, very good player. He's world class. He really is. Just going to keep. I mean, does he look like somebody who should be retiring, for example? We're talking about the best, the best 15 players of the 4 UK nations, and he's probably one of the better performers in that pack. So he's got. I reckon we could see him at the next World Cup at this stage. He really isn't showing up. I thought he was very good in a losing cause. Courtney Lawrence didn't have the game he did last week, where he was grabbing the headlines, and I wouldn't be surprised if we might see him drop. Not because he played badly. I mean, he made 6 carries, 9 tackles, but I'll be interested to see if they go with Ty Byrne, who hasn't had a chance to start. And they rate quite highly, and I think was playing very good rugby in the Six Nations. So Courtney Lawrence won a turnover as well, made 5 tackles. Look, I mean, maybe it's harsh compared to last year, but he was a bit quiet for me, so I'll probably go with a 6, maybe a 7. Let's see what you guys think. I've gone with a 6, 6.4. So we're pretty close with Courtney. Tom Curry, well, he's a really in-your-face character, isn't he, today, was Curry. But I didn't think he was great. 4 carries. He made 5 tackles. He missed a tackle. Didn't win a single turnover, which is kind of what he's there for. Rugby pass. Did he concede a penalty? Apparently not, but set plays. Defense. Yeah, so he missed a tackle. I mean, he made the third fewest tackles in the pack, which, for somebody like him, he's supposed to be doing a lot of tackling, a lot of breakdown work, was pretty poor. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Hamish Watson back in the mix next week. Contender reckons, so 5.6. Contender reckons Fatal, Watson, and Simmons will be a very interesting to go all three. I reckon we'll probably go, if I was them, I would go Ty Burn, Hamish Watson, and I'd keep Jack Conan. Seba says, happy I can come now. Back, had to take a break from YouTube for the last week. Well, welcome back. Welcome back. Carry 4 lacking discipline. Carry is trying to replace Owen Farrell as most hated player in SA. Yeah, he's very, as I said, he's very in your face. So he is one of those people that just you won't like him as the opposition player. Jack Cohen had a very Jack Cohen game where I didn't think he was bad, but I thought it was probably the problem with Jack Cohen is because he's kind of an under the radar player where he does a lot of good things, but doesn't a lot goes under the radar. That when they lose, you don't remember him doing much. But he carried the ball seven times, which I think is the most from a Lions player, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, from what I can see, it's the most from a Lions player. So I think Luke Dickey carried him more than him. Didn't miss a tackle. Didn't really get over the gain line too much. He made 11 meters from 7 carries. Beat the defender once. I thought he was solid. I'll go with a 7. I think he was one of the better performers. Didn't do anything wrong. Put it that way. 7.2. So you guys are agreeing with me. I wouldn't drop him either. I think you just know what you're going to get from him. So I think he's a very, very safe pick as a coach. If you bring on Sam Simmons, for example, like a couple of comments have said, that it's sort of a bit dicey. What are you going to see from him? But Jack Conan, he'll make his tackles. He'll carry the ball up. He's very reliable under the high ball. So I thought he was pretty good. Then we'll go to the back line players for the Lions. Let me just sort that out. Boom, boom. Right, so we'll start with Conor Murray, who I thought I don't know about Conor Murray actually. His box kicking was pretty decent, but the it's funny that it's a bit like Faf. His box kicking I thought was quite contestable, but it wasn't really working for them this time, which doesn't help. But I thought that was he better than Andy Price last week? No. But was he bad? Probably not. So I'll probably go with an average performance of 6, maybe. I don't know if that's me being harsh. 5.4. No, it's not me being harsh. So Dan Bigger. I'll tell you what, I'm going to give Dan Bigger a 5, and it's probably got absolutely nothing to do with his performance and everything to do with his little dive after Bongi Benambi shoved him. I mean, he made his tackles, he kicked everything through the middle. So he probably gets a 7 or even a 6 or a 7 in my books, except for that little moment where he went down, clutching his back, and then nobody cared about him, so he got up and carried on, which really pissed me off, to be honest. I just don't. After all the talk about Colby was diving last week and stuff like that, I thought that was a bit of a poor moment. So I'll go with 6. I'll give him a generous. It's not generous. His playing is probably a 7. 6.7, but yeah, I wasn't happy with going down there the way he did. You can see by the fact that he stood up and never needed attention. It couldn't have been that bad. Duvan van der Merwe, well, you got a yellow card, so whatever it is kind of goes down to. I thought Duvan struggled with it today. He only had to make 2 tackles and he missed 1. Didn't gain a single meter. He was pretty absent today, wasn't he? Wasn't a Duvan van der Merwe. He also made that horrible tackle on. Piece of the toy that people aren't particularly happy about. So I'd say Duvan's sort of sitting at 4 territory, really. I think it was pretty poor. I'm seeing a 4 there. I'm seeing a 5. I'm tending to go towards a 4, pretty much because the yellow card drops you down 1 immediately. So I'll go with a 4 for Duvan. Not his finest hour, I don't think. 6.4. That's interesting that people have gone higher. I didn't think he was that good. He got a yellow card. I think got away with the piece left the toy dump. I think if they change it, make any changes, I reckon. He knocked the ball on twice as well, I think. I really want to try and find if anybody knows a site where you can find knock-ons and rucks hit and stuff like that, please let me know, because I struggle to find those stats. So Robbie Henshaw, I'll tell you what, he tried hard today to Robbie Henshaw. I mean, Chris Harris, I forgot that he was actually playing when he got subbed. Henshaw made all his tackles to 11, 3 turnovers, 1. He almost scored a try, 27 meters across his carries, 4 passes. I thought Henshaw was probably the best player for Lions. And it's interesting that he was back today when a lot of people were saying that he's not in form, shouldn't be playing, but he made the most tackles by any Lions player today from what I'm seeing. So I reckon he's probably the only. I'll probably go up to almost to an 8 for Robbie Henshaw. I thought he was probably the best player. So I'll go with an 8. I'm interested to see what everybody else thinks. People tend to go quite high on the ratings here. 6.8. Well, that's interesting. I see a couple of people going with 7, so maybe 7 was a bit fair. Was a bit fairer, but I thought he was very. I thought he tried very hard and in a bit of a losing cause. Didn't really have great ball. I don't think he had a lot of good support. But if he had scored that try, for example, it would have been a really good moment for him. He made every single one of his tackles. 3 turnovers won by him as well. So the stats read really, really well for him there. Chris Harris. I mean, do you guys even remember seeing Chris Harris? I don't. I remember seeing him, I think, emerge with the ball the once. He made 3 tackles. I don't know how many carries he made. He made 1 carry, making 1 meter. Yeah, I just don't remember seeing him at all. So 5 or 6 for Chris Harris. Look, I mean, at the same time, did he get enough chance? You have to go with a 5. He was nowhere, really. I thought he was going to be quite an interesting pick. So 6.8, people going a bit higher. We didn't really see much of him. Anthony Watson. I also don't remember much of Anthony Watson. I don't remember him doing much good. He missed his only 1 tackle he had to make. I think he knocked the ball on as well. What else did he do? 2 defenders beaten and 17 meters gained across his how many carries? 2 carries, defender beaten. You can see it 4 turnovers, That's quite hectic. Missed 1 tackle, made 1 tackle. Not a great time. Yeah, and you can see the penalty. It's a good shot. I'll probably give another 5 here. Anthony Watson, I don't think particularly impressive. Do 6 there. Stuart Hogg. I think it was Stuart Hogg's best game. He made 1 tackle, missed a tackle, 2 turnovers, 1. 60 meters gained. Attack, 50 meters across 9 carries, beat 2 defenders, 3 turnovers, total conservatives conceded. Discipline, he conceded a penalty. It wasn't Hogg's best game. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Liam Williams in that lineup next week, just because I think they need to be better under the high ball. So I thought that Hogg struggled a little bit. Their outside 3 weren't particularly good. I think many ways that our outside 3 weren't particularly good last week. So were they. So I'll probably go with a 5 for Hogg. 6.8. So people are rating it quite a good game. I don't really remember seeing much of him. I thought that, I mean, he slipped the tackle against Michael Zulumapimpi, for example. So that's a bit of a red mark on his performance. And then going to the subs. I want to go to this view. And we won't go, so we'll go to Ken Owens. Ken Owens came on, I think, lost 2 lineouts. 1 carry, 1 tackle. And if we go to rugby pass, I'm pretty sure that they lost 2 lines. I'm pretty sure they lost 2 lines when he came on. Didn't really do much at Owens. I thought that they lost a little bit when he came on. So I'll probably go with a 4 for Owens. Wasn't great. Did Hogg get his mates to rate him? I love that. Aviator said the ref had a good game today. Imagine having such consistency every weekend. Maybe we should rate the ref. I'll then go to Sutherland, who you can see a stupid penalty. Also got out-scrammed by Vincent Koch. So I don't think it was a good day in the office for Rory Sutherland. I think the penalty conceded was so poor. He made 3 tackles. Probably go with maybe even a 3 for Rory Sutherland based on that. I just think that the penalty conceded was so stupid. 6.3. Okay, well, apparently I'm very, very off it. He played 25 minutes. Maybe a 4 is probably a bit fairer on him. But I just thought that the penalty conceded was so nowhere. No need. Then I'll stick to Faletau. Well, we won't go necessarily in order. We'll just go to Faletau now. So Faletau, he's a bit quiet for somebody who's usually so in your face. 2 carries, 3 tackles. He didn't miss a tackle. 21 minutes made. I thought he was pretty average. Didn't add much to the game. So I'll go with bang average at 6 for Faletau. 6.2. Ali Price, probably also a 6. Wasn't bad. Wasn't phenomenal. 6.7. I thought he was probably better than Conor. I don't say he's better, but I think I would start at Eddie Price, put it that way, based on what we saw in the last couple of games. Right, then Carl Sinclair, Owen Farrell, Elliot Daly, and Tyke Byrne. Well, Sinclair got actually destroyed by Trevor. Destroyed by Trevor. Yeah, man was not having a good time. So where are we going with Kyle? 4-3, 4-3, 4-3. I mean, he made some tackles. He made a couple of tackles and stuff like that. So maybe 5 tackles. So I'm actually seeing more at probably 5. I don't know, 4. He kind of got it scrummed. Made a couple of good tackles. I actually remember him making a couple of good tackles. He added a bit of physicality, but Trevor was just having his way with him. So I want to go with a 4. More because of what Trevor did well as opposed to what Carl Sinclair did wrong. 5.6. I went a bit low. Owen Farrell, he had a very nice covering kick. He also complained about a high tackle, which wasn't a high tackle, the pret. He missed the only 2 tackles he had to make. Yeah, so you're probably sitting at a 4, mate. Graham says Trevor was a terror tonight. Rusty took all the attention and that's all the pressure of the box this week. 400 IQ play. 5.6 from Owen Farrell. Right, we got Ty Byrne and Elliot Daly. Well, Ty Byrne wasn't on for very long. You got 10 minutes. He made 1 tackle, so you get a slap bang 6 by default. Elliot Daly, I don't even remember seeing Elliot Daly. Did Elliot Daly do anything? He made 1 tackle. Yeah, so you also get a bang average 6. Right, so there we go. So Elliot Daly is getting a 5. So the highest person, so Tad Byrne got a 6.8. The highest score, I think, from any Lions player, Jack Cohen got a 7.2. And Robbie Henshaw got so Mario Tozer and Jack Cohen with 7.2s were the highest scorers. The lowest scorers, we've got a 5.4 on Conor Murray. We've got a... So, yeah, Conor Murray is the lowest scorer. No, sorry, Elliot Daly. So Elliot Daly and Conor Murray are the lowest scoring Lions players. But now we'll move on to what everybody's sort of been waiting for, and that is to rate the Springboks. And, when you put a performance like that, I don't think too many people are going to be getting bad ratings. But we'll start, of course, with the bench. With the front row, with the forwards is what I meant to say. It's me against Master Hammer Owen. Imagine if Rusty gives second vid showing bad luck the Lions had to, would have been good fun. I'm sorry, but Fat Clerk, I try to deserve to be on the field after tackle against Murray. Should have been a yellow. They didn't really seem to look at it, did it? It seemed to be sort of. I think they pretty much said it was shoulder on chest. I mean, they didn't look at it, didn't they? So I'd like to see more replay from it because they sort of mentioned it and then never really checked it properly. Stephen Kitsoff was good. He was good, I thought. Was very solid and was quite good at the breakdown. Good old Kitsy. I'm going to try and go through these ratings a little bit faster. So 8 carries, 10 tackles. He didn't miss a single tackle. I thought he was very good at scrum time. So I'll give Kitsoff a 7, I reckon. You remember 6 at average, so 7 is good. I reckon these ratings will be very high. 6.2. I think that's harsh. I think that's very harsh. 8 carries, didn't miss a single tackle. We weren't getting out scrummed that much, really. So I think 6.2 is quite harsh. Everybody else in the comments is going with 7, so we'll go with that. Bongi, not Bongi's best game, actually. 6 tackles, didn't miss a tackle. He lost the 2 lineouts weren't great. Also can see the penalty, which resulted in points. So I'll probably go with bang average for Bongi. I thought Malcolm Marx was better off the bench. But I think we must stick with that. I don't think just because Malcolm Marx outplayed him when he came on, don't change it. We've got a good thing going. 6.8. See, I think I disagree with that. I think to give Kitsoff a 6.2 and Bongi a 6.8 is wrong. I thought Kitsoff was better. I equally didn't think Francois Herbert was great. He made 12 tackles, though, to be fair to him. 2 carries. I thought he struggled a little bit at scrum time. He looked like Benapola was getting the better of him a couple of times. Where are we going with Francois Herbert? I mean, I don't think he's a 5. I mean, I don't think any staff is a 5. So I'm kind of leaning 26 and the 7 for Francois Herbert. I mean, the fact that Kitsoff got 6.2, I think is very, 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 very harsh. The front row, look, he stepped up from last week, so I'll give him a generous 7. It's 5.5. Yo, people are going. I mean, I'm sorry. Francois Herbert gets a 5.5, and you're going to give him what is it? Roy Sutherland like a 6.5. You people need to get off the beer. Now I've got all these salty UK people coming and ruining my ratings. You're ruining them. Poor form. 5.5. You mad? Ibn Etzebeth was pretty good, wasn't he? He was pretty good. Was Ibn Etzebeth? 9 tackles, 6 carries. I thought Mossa was probably better, so I'll probably go with a 7 for Etzebeth. I was very, very impressed with Franco. 7, go on it. I'm going with an 8 for Franco. Does anybody have an opposition with me going with an 8 for Franco? I thought he was very, very good. I thought that when Steph the Toy went off and he had to cover flank, I mean, Mostert made 13 tackles, made 5 carries. Trying to see Rugby pass here. I've got him making... Yeah, I mean, Ibn Etzebeth's meters made is -5, by the way. But I thought Franco was just terrific. Yeah, so Rugby pass has him making 8 tackles and not missing a single one and winning a turnover. He did give a penalty away, but he also made a very good last-ditch tackle. I mean, yeah, I'm going with an 8 for Franco. I was very impressed with him. I thought he was very, very good. I thought especially the fact that he had to shift onto the flank towards the last stage, 7.6. Sia. Sia's also probably going to get an 8. I thought Sia was had one of his best games in a long time. 14 tackles made, 3 carries. I thought his leadership was very good today. Didn't miss a tackle according to Rugby pass. Made 10 meters, made a try-saving effort as well. We can almost go up to a 9 for Sia. I tell you what, that try-saving tackle, I think, sends him a little bit higher there. So I'll probably look. I don't think anybody gets a 10 out of 10. I'll put it this way. 10 out of 10 for me is a hat trick or when you single-handedly change the game. But I can go with a 9 for Sia, and that's people agreeing as well. 7.6. I think it's pretty harsh. I think that means that like Jack Cohen, actually they got 7.2. So I think 7.6. I thought it was very good. Lots of people saying that Sia deserves an 8. Captain's performance 9 easily. Nice and Sleeve says congrats, best team won, but I feel Gatlin now has to take to YouTube to hide all the issues that weren't addressed. Well, you can do that if you want. It's out there. It's out there. The platform is there. PC at the Toy has to get a 6. He just didn't play much. It's not his fault. But you can't really give somebody a 7. I mean, 7.3. I didn't do. You went off. Jasper Wiese. I'm interested to see what people give Jasper Wiese. I thought he had a much better game than in the second half. He made 14 tackles. He didn't miss a single one. 4 carries as well. He did drop the ball pretty poorly and gave them right back into the mix. So I'll probably go with a 7 for Jasper Wiese. Maybe even a 6. That drop frustrated me. Yeah, let's go with a 6 for Jasper. Let's try. Let's not be too generous. Yeah, we're going with a 6. I can agree with that. I thought he was decent, but a couple of mistakes in his game. I think he also gave away a penalty. Now I'm thinking about that, a pretty poor penalty to give away as well. We've got a bit of a mistake in our rating things, so we'll see we're about to see what Ches and Colby apparently looks like. Right, Faf. What do we think of Faf? Look, I mean, try assist, made all his tackles, so you can't complain too much. Yards the drop. Jasper for 7. Speros is probably one of the best and most entertaining games in a long time, and these refs were just trying to find penalties against South Africa. I think the refing was pretty good. So, Faf, are we going with a 7 or an 8, I reckon? The try assist was really nice. I really enjoyed that try assist, I must admit. Let's go with an 8 for Faf. It's got the hair. 7.2. So maybe I got a bit high. You got a bit of nostalgia. Right, now I'm interested to see what people think about Pollard. I reckon, actually, I'm being fair. I'm going to probably go 7 for the Faf, and I'm probably going to go 7 for Pollard as well. I heard somebody saying that should have got man of the match, but I thought that Pollard was pretty ordinary a bit in the first half. He slipped 2 tackles, I think it was. He slipped 1 tackle according to here. Try assist though with that cross kick, and he started kicking better. But he also threw, I think, 2 passes which was a bit awry. So I'm leaning towards a 7 because I thought he grew into the game and looked a lot better as he went. We're seeing everything from an 8.5 to a 9 to a 5 to a 6. So, well, I want to go 7, and I'm going to and be interested to sort of see what people then what that sort of results in. 7.2. Everything starts with Polly. I don't care. I would say around 8. Yeah, well, I mean, look, we play a lot of 9 as well, so not as much as I think as things might be. Right, because I'm a pimpy at 9. I'm not even going to ask questions. He gets a 9. He was the man of the match. He gets a 9, does Makazola. 7.7. That's interesting. I know nobody's gone over an 8. You know, they've gotten 1 by what, 19 points, and nobody's gotten an 8 so far, which is very interesting. Damien Dealendi and Lekanya probably both get 8s in my opinion. I don't think we need to talk too much about that. I think that they're pretty solid. 7.2. I think these are quite low. Lekanya scored a try, also gets an 8. For me, 8.4. There we go. So Lekanya got the highest rating so far. If we look at his game, this is how it reads. Lekanya open. So obviously scored a try. He made 9 tackles. Doesn't really talk much about his attacking abilities, but he made 5 meters from 4 carries, 1 try on the defense, 1 turnover. So it's interesting that Lekanya got the highest rating. Chesn, I thought, was probably our worst backline player, if I'm going to be very honest. He didn't really do much today to Chesn. So I think if we're going to be very, very honest, and he got a yellow card, we're probably sitting at a 6 or a 5 for Chesn. He missed 1 tackle, made 13 meters gained, got a yellow card. Maybe could have been a red. I'm probably a 6. I think it was probably not a great game from him today from Chesn. 7.4. See, I think that for Damien Dealendi to get a 7.2 and for Colby to get a 7.4, I think is a bit harsh on Dealendi. But yes, as you can see, that is not Chesn and Colby. So a bit of a stuff up there. My apologies. We'll fix that for next week. Billy LaRue. We didn't remember seeing Billy LaRue do much, did we? He made all his tackles. We only had to make 1. He was very quiet, was LaRue. And I don't think he had much to do in his defense. So that's probably why. But what are we thinking for Billy? So I've got a 6 for Billy here. I've got a 7 for Billy. Probably a 6, I think, for me. I don't remember him doing much. I think it was pretty. It wasn't bad, I don't think. But just by virtue, 5.8. So we're pretty close on there. And then I'm going to bring up the double view for the bench. Right, Malcolm Marks probably gets a 7 for me. I thought he was very good. He made a very important turnover at a very crucial time. Was on for 25 minutes. I mean, he didn't carry the ball that much. He didn't make a tackle. He only made 1 tackle, so I don't think we can give it too high with 8 with Marks. But he made a very good turnover. His line-out work was decent as well. So I'm seeing 7.5. I'm seeing 2 8s. I'm going to go with a 7. I'm going to try and be a bit harsher, just because I don't think he probably could have done more. 7.6. So yeah, people going quite high for Malcolm. Vincent probably also a 7, maybe even an 8 actually from Vincent. But I'm going to give an 8 to Trevor because I thought Trevor was tremendous when he came on. 6.3. I think that's quite harsh on somebody who came on and won a penalty, and stuff. But Trevor, my boy, well done, mate. Well done. What a game off the bench. I mean, it's difficult. I mean, he came on he was on for the least amount of time. 7.2. I think it's very harsh. But I thought that Trevor just looked so good when he came on. As to Luat Dialgo, he probably also gets an 8. Was very good at line-out time. As Ben Tyson said, it's a good point, and Koch made a good steal. So Luat Dialgo, 7.3. Quacha and Mark. Look, Marco Verstappen didn't play for much, so I'm going to give him a 6. He wasn't on for long enough to get much more than a 6. It's kind of general. The rule, yeah, it's 5.8, it's fine. But Quacha, he made 6 tackles. I thought he made a very good turnover, which turned out to be a penalty, which I thought was very harsh on him. Made quite a few tackles. One of the higher tacklers on the attack, filled in at scrum off quite nicely in that one instant. I thought Quacha looked all right today. Maybe not his best game, but I thought he was pretty solid. Look, I think he filled a void. So I'll probably go with a 7 for Quacha. I don't think it was sensational, but I thought he was pretty solid. I'm interested to see what people go here because 6.5. People are going a bit low, so I'm sort of sitting in there. Herschel and Damien, well, they weren't on for very long, were they? I mean, Herschel got 17 minutes, so I'm just going to give these 2 6s just because they weren't on for very long. So nothing to do about their performances, but 17 minutes, 6.6, it's fine. And Damien, I don't even think he even touched the ball. So he gets a 5.8, that's fine. It's not really his fault. Right, so all we have to do now is end the poll. This is who you have voted for man of the match. This is what you guys have decided. And the final decision for man of the match is as follows. Come on, let's go. Show us what's going on. I think it's taking a bit of time for me for the comments to catch up here. Right, so the votes are in. Over 400 of you have voted for the man of the match. And I've decided that Makazole Mapimpi, we have agreed with the Students' Ball panel. We've agreed with what they've said. We have gone with Makazole Mapimpi as our man of the match. Ladies and gentlemen, it has been an absolute pleasure. Two fantastic streams. We had lots of technical difficulties in the early game, and you guys really did come through. So I just want to say thank you again. We've got more exciting things coming up. We've got the Rugby Championship, which will roll on after the tour, but we've got one more week of big hype. In terms of plan, we're going to be live tomorrow night. We're going to be reviewing this and sort of looking back. We'll be live on Tuesday night and Wednesday night. And then, of course, we'll be live on Friday for the Curry Cup, and we'll be live for this. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and turn your notifications on. You get a notification whenever we're live. So if we do an impromptu show, for example, then suddenly you get the notification and you can come and join us. But it's been an absolute pleasure hanging out with you. Thank you so much. Keep being awesome. Keep smashing that like button. We'll talk about this a bit more and stuff like that in terms of what we're going to do next week, tomorrow night. Tomorrow night, I'll go for a nice stream and we'll do a bit of a review and we'll just chat. But right now, I'm going to go eat dinner and I'll get the press conferences up as well. So we'll have Warren Gatlin and we'll have Jacques Nienaber up as well. So thank you very much for watching. Please do stay safe out there. Smash like on the video on the way out. Subscribe to the channel. The subscribers are going up a lot. So I'm really, really looking forward to seeing what we can do. But thank you very much and chat to you guys soon.